Hi friends, how are you today? Thank you for watching if you're here for the replay. My name is Svava Brooks. I'm an abuse survivor coach and I love to be here 5 times per week, hanging out, chatting with my fellow survivors, thrivers, right? Hey guys, how are you doing today? It's Monday. How was your weekend? And what we're using here as our guide, hey Sue, I think I saw you here, Chris-Ann. If you're new or if you're just popping in, please introduce yourself, say hello. And we are working our way through my book, Releasing Your Authentic Self, one day at a time. Hello, sunshine. Each day is a new day, independent conversation where we are using our curiosity, right? Being curious, getting to know ourselves all over again. Hey, my friend, Shiny Hippie's here. Hey, Tracy, how are you doing, my friend? And we got our Lady Leo is here. So good to see you guys. Sue is here. Please say hello. Please introduce yourself. How are you guys doing? I've gotten 2 Facebook messages. A couple of friends aren't gonna make it. It's both, one has sleepy time and one has family. So, but I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, my friend. It was so great to connect with you today also. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was really, really moved by your share. Yes, Tracy, thank you. Good to see you too. Did you do your scope earlier? Sue doing okay? I'm loving the hearts. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Hearts are my language. You did? It was good? Great. I was so happy to see that you're back onto self-care, shiny style. Woohoo! So anybody here who doesn't already follow Shiny, please do. She does some pretty creative, fun, loving, supportive morning self-care. We love Shiny Hippie. Yes, come to the Breakfast Club. What time are you on now? Since you used to be on the East Coast, now you're West Coast. And what's your time? What time are you on? 10 a.m. Pacific. Awesome. Well, since you're here, Tracy, I gotta tell our viewers who designed my book cover. This lady right here, Tracy, is the lady, is the sweet, the creative artist behind my book. Yes. Behind both my books, behind the cover of this one, and I know, blood, sweat, and tears, Tracy, right? Every single page she had to go through. We are so grateful for Tracy, and she helped me with this one too, my first one. So Tracy's journey is forever connected to mine. Yes, all in love. Exactly. Just love you so much. So much. And you're my inspiration. So today, what are we talking about? Yeah, you want me to take the attention away from you? I'm teasing you. I'm teasing. Just teasing. Too much love for you. You can't handle the love. Hi, RJ. Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Please say hello. And I just wanted to check in. We had a great, never too much. There you go. There you go. Bring it on. Bring it on. So just quick check-in. Remember, we took on a little challenge this weekend. You guys remember on Friday, if you were here, we were all gonna play around a little bit this weekend. I've seen a few of you shared some pictures. We were all gonna be a little goofy, stretch a little bit, self-care, whatever felt good and comfortable for you. I've seen some pictures. You guys did a great job. Great job accepting the challenge. So I was impressed. I'm loving that I'm constantly encouraging guys to get out to nature, because when we don't know what to do around self-care, sometimes just going outside, moving our bodies is good for us. Yes. Yes, I love that picture of your tree, Sue. And yeah, I wasn't able to hug a tree yesterday, but I found a picture of myself hugging a tree from a couple years ago. There you go. As soon as the snow and cold goes away, yes, vitamin D and fresh air. Exactly. And nature is such an amazing partner when it comes to practicing mindfulness, because we can't really enjoy nature if we're not present in our bodies, right? We really have to be behind our eyes to see the beautiful spring that's happening, at least here in North America right now for us, the changing of seasons. And I also love, often when I feel like there's a lot going on in my mind, I will go out there and be intentional about where I'm putting my feet on Mother Earth, on the ground. All right. Lady Leo, you will love Shiny Hippie. Exactly. Always new sounds and colors to find for mindfulness. And that can sometimes help us get out of our, kind of when we're stuck with our thoughts a lot. So use nature, if it's cold and windy, just imagine that wind is blowing through your mind. Any thoughts that no longer serve you, or it's blowing through your body, the pain or the sadness, it's just clearing out a little bit. Just imagine that it's blowing through, cleaning house. And for a long time, I did not believe that I was could be supported, or I was worthy of support. So I would go out there and walk and tell myself, well, Mother Earth supports me. She meets me every day, every step as I'm walking out here. I don't even have to question. I don't even, if I doubt it, every step I'm being supported, every step. Sometimes doing things like that helps us shift the mindset, right? From focusing on the things that are wrong and the things that we can't have, or the things that seem out of reach, and to start to change our perspective. Beautiful. And to focus on the things that are working. Be intentional. So sit on your porch and watch the hawks. That sounds wonderful. I love that. Beautiful. I love hawks. Hawks are good signs. You're on the right path when you see hawks flying over. You have a force field. Say that again. I just missed it. I was so focused on the previous message. Now you're always outside. Exactly. That's what happens. That's what happens. Sometimes I can just feel my body just like, go out, get out, go outside, go outside. And I do it as much as I can. Preferably, almost every day. Yes, exactly. Yes, my friend, you used to be, right? Stuck in the house. So some days, right? Just crawling out there. You got yourself out and out the door. Beautiful. Awesome. Yes. Yes, Lady Leo. Hawks are a good sign. Good sign. So Yes, my self-created box. Exactly. Well, that's one of the things that we're doing here, right, guys? As we are releasing our authentic selves, right? We have to recognize how sometimes these boxes that we've created, yes, we created them to keep ourselves safe, but then what happened? We are safe, but we are still in the box, right? The outside world has shifted, but we're still in the box. So it becomes, instead of being a safety, now it's the thing that gets in the way of us moving forward with our lives. And that's why we're here. That's what we're to talk about. Yes, they can, Sue. Yes, exactly. It's like this, the bird cage, right? If you can imagine, it's a bird cage. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so sweet, Tracy. So if we can imagine, sometimes we've created this self-inflicted cage, right? And the doors are open. And sometimes being in the cage feels safer than flying free. So that's what we're working on together, practicing self-compassion and kindness, being gentle with ourselves. And just a quick, disclaimer, note to anybody that's here and new, I'm very direct. Very direct. I talk very openly and directly about my past. So be gentle with yourself. Awesome, Lady Leo, poem about chipping up my wall. That's good. That's what we're doing, chipping at it. I hear you, Tracy. I hear you. Sometimes, yeah, it felt safer, and I understand. You've been going through a huge transition right now. Huge. So I was just thinking about you earlier today. You must have been feeling my pull. I was pulling you in. I was pulling you in, sweet friend. All right, so today's topic, are we ready? I've already seen, yeah, exactly. I must have been pulling you in. I mean, that's how strong our hearts are. When we think of people, when we send them love, they can feel it. They can. Absolutely they can. Yes. That's what I'm telling you, and I tell my kids, anytime you feel alone, disconnected, or down, just go to your heart. Just go to your heart right here where you can see I've got my hand on my heart. I can feel the warmth here already. And when you go here into your heart, you will feel my heart. I am there with you. And I mean it. I mean it, I mean it, I mean it. So, I'm with you right here. You got it. You got it. All right, guys. Thanks for, I love these colors. It's your heart shiny matches the book. And I love the blend here. Purple, red. Ooh, the hearts make my heart sing. So let me focus here for a minute. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna read the page or the truth of the day, so to speak, and then we have 2 questions that we are gonna share. And of course, feel free to share as much as you like, right? And there's no pressure. If you don't feel comfortable sharing, no pressure whatsoever. You can always just say pass or just hang out and see what comes up here. No pressure. So here it comes. All survivors of child abuse suffer from betrayal trauma. Because you were betrayed again and again as a child, your subconscious becomes accustomed to betrayal. I know this is a little heavy. Hang in there. And fortunately, your subconscious determines the kind of people you allow into your life. This is why you've always been attracted to people who have betrayed you in one way or another. I know. Right? It's your subconscious manifesting its comfort zone. We're going to talk a little more about that. But here are the 2 questions that I posed for you guys today. Who are all the people who have betrayed you? I know. And how did they betray you? Who are all the people that have betrayed you and how? Okay, so remember, if just recognize, am I ready to write out this list? Does this feel comfortable? Do I feel safe? Recognize that, right? And sometimes just putting it out there, can feel very, very risky. I was reflecting, someone else had shared on the Facebook group that we have for the readers of the book, just so anybody here, so you all know that sometimes just putting it out there can feel very, very risky in the beginning. So honor that. You can do this list in your mind's eye, in your head, if that feels safe for you for now. But the second question here today is that how many ways have you betrayed yourself, right? Always putting the needs of others ahead of yours. We have the critical self-talk, not taking good care of our health, right, etc. So 2 big things here. Really, really, I know, Shiny. I know, my friend. But why are we talking about it? Okay, here, Lady Leo, I'm always waiting for the betrayal. Will sabotage, so when it's over, I say I knew it. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I hear you, Shiny. So, Lady Leo, this is it. This is so important for us to recognize and then understand why. Where does it come from? Right? Either we are like, our subconscious, we're drawn to people that are not good for us, or if we happen to, we're working on getting healthier, right? We're recognizing, doing a better job of setting boundaries or discerning what situations and what people are good for us. But then when we find people that are good for us, the part of us that doesn't think that we're worthy of it, right? We struggle with, wow, this must be too good to be true. And then we perhaps will sabotage. So we're acting out some way still the things that happen to us. I let myself be led in ways I wish I didn't. Needed stronger boundaries, need them still. Yes, I hear you, my friend. I hear you. I hear you. And this is where it's important that we're being very gentle and kind to ourselves, right? Any of these questions that I'm asking you guys, this is not so we can have more evidence that, how broken we are, or that we aren't doing the right thing or whatever, or not being perfect enough. None of that. This is to help us understand, why. Because there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Your biology, your nervous system, who you are, because of what happened to you, it's like your biology is compelled to try to figure out what happened. And so we are, like I said, your biology is driven to recreate the original trauma, because it's trying to resolve it. So recognizing that when this happened, and if you have now new information, to be gentle with yourself and recognize that perhaps in the next situation or the new scenario where something like this happens, that you will feel better equipped, or at least ask for support and recognize what's going on. Does that make sense? Because we weren't supported, right, in processing or what happened to us. Exactly. Recognizing it helps you to get back on course. Exactly. Exactly. Because if we're not understanding it, and we still feel just like a victim, constantly a victim to our circumstances, is to really pull in and recognize, how can I take responsibility for this reoccurring theme in my life, right? And how can I make the choice? Even though it's incredibly hard in the beginning, because we weren't supported and we couldn't make this choice when we were little, right? So be gentle with yourself as we gain awareness. Thank you, Sue. My parents tried to live through me and wanted me to support each of them. Yes, terrible burden put on children. Terrible burden that parents put on children when they expect their children to make them happy, right? The kids, they have kids to make them feel good, to them look good, right? Then what is important to that child becomes secondary and not important at all. Exactly. Then we learn that we're only here to please others. We're only here to take care of others. That our job and our identity, our value is only here to please and take care of other people. And then, so yeah, then we, struggle a little bit with recognizing, wait a minute, it's time that I stop putting other people's needs before mine. Recognize that perhaps was the only way that I felt good about myself. Lady Leo, it wasn't until I started referring to myself as a survivor and not a victim that I started self-care. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. But I do want to say that it is important that we don't skip over the victim. There's a difference. Like, we can't skip over acknowledging the truth of what happened. So many people don't want to go into the healing journey because they don't want to be labeled victims. Like, that is, a stigmatized word. Like, you're somehow bad or less than if you have been a victim. And it's very real out there, right? That still happens. But it's important that we recognize we aren't victim, but we were victimized. Exactly. Thank you. That's right. Exactly. Because that helps us to separate, again, who I am as a person and the things that happened to me. Because yes, we can't, we have to really accept that we were victims. We were victimized, that we were hurt, we were betrayed. Exactly. You can't heal just from affirmations. We need all the steps. That's right, my friend. It can't just be a mental exercise, right? It has to be something that we really take into our bodies. And that's why self-care is so important, because that's us recognizing, wait a minute, I'm the owner of this house, of this body. If I don't start taking care of this beautiful, amazing, courageous, strong body, right? If I don't start taking good care of it, if I don't start loving it, if I don't start treating it with respect and kindness, sorry for being so hard on you. Sorry for being so hard on you. You don't deserve this. You've worked so hard. So, I'm going to block here. I can see where that is. So, plus, it's the one thing that I have any control over. Yes, exactly, my friend. That's right. That's right. But sometimes we get caught in, the experience, right? Or the belief that we're only good enough as long as we're taking care of other people. But then we're constantly giving our power away to other people. We can take our power back, start to take care of ourselves, baby steps, right? Sometimes it's just to get out the door and walk around the house, right? Or walk around the block. Just, go to the corner, touch the electrical pole and back. Just little steps. I did that for me. Right? Oh, yes. Exactly. You got it, my friend. You got it. Yeah. And then more and more, once we start doing that, yes, I get it, then we are really reclaiming, you know, I own this body. I'm responsible for this body. And I am learning, instead of betraying myself by putting myself last, not recognizing my needs, I'm doing what others did to me. We continue the self-abuse, the self-betrayal anyway, or the self-neglect, which is sometimes what brings us the biggest grief, right? It's like, oh my goodness, sweet, sweet woman, right? Exactly. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. This body deserves so much love and compassion because I was not happy with it at all. I lived up here like, ugh, how can I get away from this? I don't want anything to do with this, right? But this is the body that we've been given. And yes, if we've been hurt, it does such a beautiful job of keeping us safe that it will kind of detach us, disconnect us from the overwhelm of the sadness and the grief and the pain. There you go. Good job. Good job. Yes. Recognize how we retreat and isolate, because that's your trauma brain. You know, isolating, disconnecting, moving away from, retreating, just kind of in and hiding. So I'm sorry to hear that, but I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I did not like my body for a long, long time. Long, long time. So be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Because our body is our vehicle, you know, from here to love, right? From here to where we're going on this healing journey. You know, you're not going to just get that in your head, you know, how to really heal and restore. We really have to slowly start to re-engage with our bodies. So be really, really gentle with yourself. Gentle. I do miss the quiet of being alone, though. I hear you, Shiny. I hear you. It's that balance, right? We need to strike a balance because we need people. We need to connect with the outside world. We do. But when we've been hurt a lot, sometimes it's like, well, I'm just not going to risk it. I'm just going to choose to stay in here. Yes. I hear you. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. Yes, exactly. It's interesting, right? You went from one extreme to the other, so to speak, right? And then we recognize, well, maybe this wasn't so good, but that isn't, doesn't work for me either. What's the balance that we are seeking? So what's the balance that we're seeking? So wonderful. Any other thoughts, my friends? If you've thought about some of the people who hurt you, and just remember, right, it was not your fault. It's like any abuse that we suffered was never our fault. But sometimes understanding how we were hurt would make me sit with family, go to outings when punished. Aw, really? She would make you go out there? I hear you. Those moms. Yes, yes, I get it. I get it. I don't know how old you were, you know, but sometimes, you know, I have 3 kids. I can't control my girls anymore. They've moved out, but my son, you know, I sometimes make him come out. Mom is term for someone who cares. Yes. 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 Yeah. But sometimes we need to be reminded, right? We need to be reminded. Come on, let's get out. Let's go out. Let's go out. So, any other comments, questions, my friends? Hey, I'm on a live scope right now, honey. No, a few more minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna be out with Jamie.
Okay, all right, be safe, have fun. My son just came home from school. I did leave a note on the door, but yes, good. Your kids, nice. So they come get you, bring you out. Good. Nice. Nice. Was it for him? No, exactly. Yes, the note was for him, but he didn't stop to read it. RJ, my mother betrayed me with her 2nd and 3rd husbands. I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. Chrisanne, I have recognized and kicked out the people who have betrayed me. Good for you. Good for you. Oh, thank you, Shiny. Nice. Thank you for the compliment, Shiny. Yes, my friends. Okay, Chrisanne, I hear you. I hear you. Sometimes we have to put boundaries. You're not the only person in this space who's had to put boundaries with your parents. Yes, Sue, when I got married, my husband was just like my parents and wanted to live through me and me support him. Yes. I hear you, my friend. I hear you. Right? Yes. Chrisanne is agreeing with you here. Yep. Patterns, right? Exactly. Exactly. Yep. And I can say that here too. I was married before my husband David for a year, and that was definitely definitely a pattern, abusive relationship that, you know, a marriage that never should have happened, but definitely was caught in that. Did not see that myself immediately. So went from one abusive relationship with my parents to one with my husband. Well, I'm so glad you're here, my friend. Glad that you're here. You're not alone. Not alone. So, hold this thought. Yes, sir.
Can I borrow some money?
Yeah, my purse is on my down there,
okay.
on the kitchen.
Sorry.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I will tease him. I will go, because he's going to be recording YouTube videos, and I'm going to one day pretend that I'm just going to walk in. Exactly, the joy of live broadcasting. Exactly. Well, you should have been, you know, before I turned the camera on, before we, exactly. Exactly. You're funny, guys. I was chasing a fly out of here, and I was getting the cat out of the office. And I put a note on the door. I mean, he had to, you know, see it to get into the house, but no, and he's been up in here twice, so. But I'm gonna tease him and tell him next time he's recording something, I'm gonna pop in and ask him, hey, did you take out the trash? Did you do the laundry? Did you clean the litter box? I'll get him back, so. But hey, that's my life, guys, right? Life happens while you make plans. Yeah, exactly. I'll ask him some embarrassing. I'll ask him about his girlfriend or something. So, well, I'm glad you guys got a little laugh out of this, but I'm so glad you guys are all here and that you are sharing and that you're connecting and seeing that you are not alone, that these patterns, right? It's like I felt so bad when I realized, wait a minute, I had married some version of my stepfather, right? The person that hurt me the most. And it's like, how did I miss this, right? So I felt really, I was really, really bad about it. But it's like, nope, this is not, so good. Yes, my friend.
Where is it?
My wallet is in my purse that's hanging on the chair in the kitchen. The red big bag is my purse. Got it. All right. He wants to go to the ice cream store with his friends on skateboard, and now he needed some cash. Exactly. We blame ourselves and we feel even less worthy. Exactly. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Shiny. I'm glad we can laugh about this. Well, I've told you guys before, my son is high functioning Asperger's. So it's usually just when he wants something, he wants it, and he wants it now. And I think he's coming back up here. So, yes. What? Oh, it's in here? It's not even down there? Oh my God. Can you just walk out of here and take...
Sorry.
You want to come show your face? That's my son, David.
Sorry.
Be safe. So that was my baby boy, David, who is turning 15 on Friday. Yes, my little baby. He's like here right now, like a little taller. Yes. I tried. I got him in here for a minute. One day I'll make him come here and sit, and him and I will talk about how I love talking to him about life because he sees things differently and not afraid to share it, to say what he thinks. And like I was sharing, when he wants something, he is like a bulldozer. It's like, watch out. That kid like knows how to get what he wants. So yes, I know. Exactly. But he has been my biggest teacher. He has been my greatest teacher. He, my trauma brain being so impatient and like things had to happen like that. This kid has taught me patience. Yes, I've had to learn to be patient with him. That was his blessing to me. Totally. So, well, where was I after all of that? But like I was saying, I'm glad you guys were here. I'm glad you guys were sharing. And thank you, Sue. Thank you. And that you guys are seeing, like I mentioned, there was nothing wrong with us, right? We're just compelled to repeat our stories because our biology, your nervous system, your brain, you wants to resolve the issue and it has to recreate it to finish the cycle, the trauma cycle within your brain, right? The part of you that hijacks you, part of your nervous system that disconnects you. And then when the event is over, it needs to be able to process, to understand what happened, to, you know, shake out the tension and the trauma from your nervous system. And we're not allowed to complete the cycle in a holistic way, that we evolve and learn from it, right? The post-trauma growth, we get held hostage in the nervous system. It's like this, like a broken record. It's like the needle just kind of gets pulled back into the same spot over and over and over and over again. And when we understand it, it's like, oh, I got it. I'm sorry. Yes. Exactly. Understanding why. It's like the same part of your body and your nervous system that rescues you is also the part that will set you free once you understand it. Yes, PTSD is very exhausting. It's like your body spikes immediately into overwhelm. Like it gets pushed into that overwhelm immediately. It goes from the area, the curve, where you can still manage, into the top where we're stuck, right? The freeze. And then we are not given the tools to come down on the other side, to feel the feelings, to express the sadness, to express the outrage, right? To express the betrayal and feel the feelings, to let the body like process it. So that's why we end up being left with years, months, right? Decades of sadness and pain and betrayal. And that's why we get nervous about having our feelings, because we feel if we just tap into it just a little bit, it's going to be a bottomless pit. And that is definitely how it can feel for a little while. But each time you cry, you're letting something go, and you're letting it go for good. You just have a lot of crying to do. It's like there's a lot of things that we had every reason to be upset, to be outraged, right? To be pissed off. Darn it. Where were the people? Nobody was paying attention. Right? So, yes, I hear you. I hear you, my friends. I know it feels like you're crying your eyes out. Yes. Your tears are your grace. Your tears are your truth. And when we cry, we are bearing witness to the truth. Exactly. Don't hold on to it. I'm constantly crying. Always. You guys have seen me a few times here. I was actually just thinking I'll need a new tissue box in here. It's like tears are good. Tears are you like honoring yourself, honoring the truth. And when we honor the truth out here, and you're being witnessed, when you're being witnessed, you are actually, witnessing that inside of you are these wounded parts, your inner child, that when we display our feelings, I hear you. Yes. But inside, it feels so heavy and so hurtful because you were so little. You were little when you felt them. So it still feels as if you were little, but you are big now. But we've been avoiding feeling them for so long. And some of us are actually feeling the feelings that the little girl felt. But as we learn to express our feelings, as we learn to sit and let ourselves to just cry and be seen. Yes, exactly. It is a memory. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. And to remember that part of your brain that stores the painful memories, your amygdala does not have any timestamp. It cannot differentiate if this is old or new, if this is happening now or in the past. So that's why we kind of need to learn to accompany ourselves as we're having these feelings. It's like in the moment, we're practicing mindfulness, actually, like recognizing, you know, sometimes we can't because it's just so big, it takes everything over. But once it settles a little bit, we kind of can assess a little bit. Where did this come from, right? What is being shed here? What is being seen? What's being heard? Yes, exactly. Yes. Well, and again, remember, your biology is trying to recreate the past in the present because it's trying to resolve the past in the present. So it can get a little, right, a little tricky. It definitely can. But when we practice self-care, tend to our bodies, and let our tears flow, just like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You got this. I got you, right? When we do that, it gets easier. Because it is sad that we are afraid of our feelings, because our feelings are the most real and authentic part of ourselves. But we don't live in a culture that is okay with people having feelings, a range of them. So we are learning to have feelings now that we didn't learn to have when we were younger. So how do humans learn, right? We learn by doing, and sometimes we learn by kind of tripping over the steps a little bit, right? But we have to be willing to try. I'm trying to find the wounded little girl and not little girl that was the protector. I'm trying to find the wounded little girl and not little girl that was the protector. So that's a really good insight for you to recognize which one. So I know you're working with your therapist on this. So that's really good information to recognize where is it coming from. And I tend to lean on the side of get to know the protector also, get to know the resistance also. It's like all these parts of us that we need to befriend because they've all had a purpose. The protector is self-destructive, yes, but sometimes if we find out why, what does the protector think it's protecting you from? So understanding what's behind the protector is here for a reason. The protector shows up because he thinks he needs to protect you, because maybe he thinks nobody else is going to show up. So when we show up and get to know the protector, and it's like, hey friend, why are you here? I know you've been here because you think you need to protect me, and that you think I need to self-destruct in order to be safe from further harm. But I'm actually learning to do this as an adult now. I'm here now, my friend. I'm not gonna push through. I'm not gonna do this without you. You are part of the team. It's like these parts that we have on our bus, of little parts that, you know, live inside of us, all have served a purpose of protecting us along the way. We get to know them. And after a while, we decide, I'm the adult today. I'm the grown-up. Right? I'm gonna drive the bus. I'm the loving, kind, heart-centered adult who knows what's best for me. And I know when the protector shows up that he thinks I need to be on the lookout for some fear. And then I get to choose, wait a minute, is this happening? Is this real or is this old? Is this real or is this old? And then I can communicate with my protector. Thank you so much. Exactly, for looking out for me. Thank you, but I got this. I got this. And I sometimes think our inner parts, our wounded selves, is like waiting for an adult to show up. They're waiting. So, I mean, I was scared of my little girl for a long time. My wounded self, I was scared of her because I knew she had so many painful feelings that I was like, ooh. And she was a little angry. Oh, I don't know if I can handle her. And then when I slowly, ever so gently, got to know her, and she got to know me. And she learned that I was gonna listen. I listened to all of it, the good, bad, and the ugly. I didn't turn away from her. She got to tell me all the truth. And I loved her through it. She learned to trust me. And I'm the mama now. I'm the mama bear. I'm her mom and her parent and her protector. And she knows that. Doesn't mean that she pops up every now and then like, what's going on? And then I have to, it's okay. No matter what happens out here, I'm not gonna let them hurt you. I got you, sweet one. So RJ, you had a question about why. Did we answer that for you? I always appreciate the questions. Any curiosity that you have about what I'm sharing. Honor your truth. I always invite you to ask and share. So as we're having this conversation right here, right now, I just want to tell you guys, we're practicing the science of self-compassion. This is it. This is it. So just to kind of give you guys a crash course here, right? The 3 steps of self-compassion. One is we're practicing self-kindness versus self-judgment. Good, RJ. I'm glad you felt like that question was answered for you. Good. So the first step of self-compassion, we're actively practicing self-kindness over self-judgment. We talk a lot about that here, right? The second one is we're talking about common humanity. How much, commonly brings us together. This is common suffering that we're talking about versus isolation, right? Trauma, pain isolates us, but we keep, coming back here, and when we see that our experiences are part of the larger human experience, right? It's not something isolating or abnormal. Each of you here, there's nothing wrong with you. You are all normal people. We're all just textbook examples of adults that were traumatized. Nothing wrong with you. And the third one is that we're choosing to be mindful. So mindfulness versus over-identification, meaning we are practicing to be with maybe some of our painful feelings as they are. And we're doing our best to avoid extremes, one of either suppressing or running away with painful feelings. So every time we're here talking, my friends, we are actually practicing self-compassion. And I put my hands on my heart a lot. That's, Dr. Kristen Nuff. I did a weekend training a couple years ago with her. Hi, friend. And she, that was one of the things that she talked about. Either when we put our hand on our heart, we're actually, we get to feel that warmth to our bodies. And I know for some people that feels uncomfortable, that feels too much, but that's also a very good first step. And it actually will stimulate the feel-good hormones, the oxytocin in the body. And another way to do that too is to run your hands down your arms. That's actually another way to start to bring some feel-good hormones, get that going in your body. So, well, that's it for today, my friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Thank you for being so courageous and supporting of each other, for sharing so openly. I'm really, really proud of you guys. So grateful that you guys are here. The support here in our little community keeps growing, and it's really beautiful to see. So, and thank you for being patient today with my son coming in and out. We just gotta roll with it, right? You're so welcome. Yes, Shiny, it was so good to have you. You're welcome, RJ. Welcome, Lady Leo. Welcome, my friend Sue, Chris Ann. Like I said, I had a few people that weren't gonna make it here live today, but if you're here and watching the replay, just know you're important to us, you're important to our community. If you watch the replay, thank you, thank you, thank you. And remember, you can get a copy of my book on that Shiny Tracy developed and created the beautiful graphics because she knows me and my heart, knows how to make Svava's heart sing. You can get a copy of my book on Amazon or Kindle. And we'd love to have you join the conversation. I'll be here again tomorrow, 4 p.m. Sorry guys, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And love to have you join us. So thanks for all the beautiful stars. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a wonderful evening. It's good to see you guys. Good to see you all. Peace out, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow. Night night to our UK friends, East Coast. Bye, friends.